Hi. I just finished the Justice League, the Snyder cut. Oh my god, this movie is boring. It dragged on. The first hour, I almost fell into a coma. I had to stop watching. It was so goddamn boring. This movie never picks up. It's slow. It's over 4 hours long of a movie that was 2 hours long. Oh my god, it dragged its ass. And for let's I'm gonna talk about something about Zack Snyder. He's a shitty director. I know he has his super fans, and that's the whole point. Warner Brothers is not stupid. See, they've been paying attention to what's going on with Disney over there, and the way that when they bought Lucasfilms and their whole Marvel thing, and their Marvel films are fucking garbage also. They're all fucking without the special effects. They have no story. I mean, this is the shit people bitched about George Lucas's prequels and begged Disney to buy Star Wars. Well, they did. Disney bought it. And they rejoiced, and they were happy, just like when they bought Marvel Comics. Until they got Captain Marvel, then they went, oh my god, this is terrible. Oh, Jesus Christ. Not realizing all those movies they've done are garbage and shit. And Black Panther has Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf in it. Yay. That's right, kids. If you watch Black Panther, you got to hear Michael B. Jordan read Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf. And so, Warner Brothers, instead of taking a different approach and going a different complete route, they went the Marvel way. Yeah, crappy stories. So Man of Steel was shit, but he turned Superman into a villain by a mass murder. In fact. What the hell was that movie? The best thing about it, honestly, was Kevin Costner. And that was it, because the acting was terrible. I can't blame Henry Cavill, because I've seen him in other stuff, and he's actually not a bad actor. But he's not given a chance to be Superman. In fact, he's being what Zack Snyder wants, which is no personality. And we get the worst General Zod of all time. And whoever the woman is, she can't compare to Sarah Douglas. I mean, go back, watch Superman 2, and oh my god, Sarah Douglas. What a woman. Oh my god, she was so great as General Zod's second. And Terrence Stamp. Nothing can compare to Terrence Stamp, a legendary actor playing General Zod. And I forgot who the big guy is, but he's great. They put a robot in it. Oh, they're going to terraform the Earth. His people are inside of him. Ugh. And Zack Snyder, you said that the suit was as if it were a part of him. And I started wondering, does that mean you want us to imagine that Henry Cavill is naked? And then we get Batman v Superman, and that confirms my suspicion, because in the director's cut, he made sure to film Ben Affleck naked so you get his dick and ass. Yeah, that's what solves the problem with the Batman v Superman, the garbage film that just got horrible. Yeah, Batman v Superman has the worst Batman of all time. Yeah, Ben Affleck sucks as Batman. Then we get Aquaman 64. You remember that game from the Nintendo 64 that came out after the Superman 64? Ah, there it is. This version of Superman is this Nintendo 64. Then we got Aquaman 64, the mullet. All he needed was the hook on the hand, and we would have had that fucking perfect Aquaman. Aquaman 64. And we got horrible Flash. We got a terrible Cyborg. Oh my god. No personality there. And you got Amy Adams. Yay. And Little Orphan Annie is Lex Luthor. That's right, Jesse Eisenberg. You're Little Orphan Annie from now on. But we get to Justice League. And here's where I'm going to say something. I'm probably pretty sure somebody else has probably thought this too. The whole plan by this company, Warner Brothers, was they were listening to the super fans who were defending Zack Snyder from people who think he's garbage. So they played him. And then he made the movie, and they played the struggle between the studio and the director, and Zack's in the unfortunate situation that happened with his daughter. He leaves. But I'm going to say, they always planned for him to leave because they wanted to bring in the fall guy, Joss Whedon, to make the Justice League movie. Why? Because they wanted to then make the fans think that, push the fans. They hated that one. We'll put out there a rumor there's a Snyder cut. Oh my God. The fans hear this and they go, where did it come? Where did the idea of the Snyder cut come from? Warner Brothers. They wanted fans to go, yes, give us the Snyder cut. Thinking that they were the reason that movie was being made, and it wasn't. And it was always their plan to do this movie. Yeah, they had it worked out. Zack Snyder would leave. People feel bad. The whole thing with his daughter wasn't part of the plan, but they were always going to find an excuse for him to leave. Leave so they could bring in the fall guy, Joss Whedon, the shitty director, to do a shitty film that was long, boring, and stupid. So then their hero could come back, save his fans, his super fans, so he could go on do the whole Geeks and Gamers charity stream where he could tell the fans basically, in no certain terms. And I hadn't even watched the movie when I watched the stream. And I watched these people, they were all excited. He'd done all these interviews before it where he never brought up what he said during the charity stream. He had been done with everybody else. He had done with, other people there, sat down and did actual, where he talked to them during a stream. He never brought up the whole thing with Geeks and Gamers. He didn't bring up about hate, even though that shooting that happened in Atlanta had nothing to do with hate. The guy had a sex addiction. He'd become addicted to getting to happy endings, and it turned him into a sex addict. And that's why he killed those women. Not because they were fucking Asian or the fact there were two white women involved. It was because he became addicted to getting a hand job. That's what he got at the end of his massage. Turned him into a sex addict, but that's getting off the point. Zack Snyder comes on. First thing he says is, talks about, dissing himself from the Geeks and Gamers, and then brings up hate. Literally trying to call these people that, they're a hate group, which they're not. But it was planned that way so he could shit on the fans and basically make them regret ever supporting him. They don't care if they're losing money. Warner Brothers doesn't give a shit about losing money. None of these studios do it anymore. These lockdowns have made them realize they don't want you. They hate you as a fan. So yeah, they set up Zack Snyder's fans. They planned this out. They wanted to embarrass Geeks and Gamers and all those that support Geeks and Gamers and support YouTubers and the super fans that supported Zack Snyder. And that was the point. It wasn't about the charity, the money being raised. It was about that. That's why the hit piece came out the next day after. But getting back to this movie was terrible. And, they had terrible music for slow down moments. A lot of slowing things down, a lot of really bad flash slow downs. Oh my God, there's a scene in the movie, I was like, what the fuck are they saying? And the scene has to do with Martha meeting with Lois. And when you see what happens, it's like, okay, that's confusing as shit. And basically, what happens is Martha, and shows up to Lois's place because she hasn't been working. They talk, and then she leaves. All of a sudden, turns into Martian Manhunter. What the fuck? Does that mean that this whole time Martha Kent has been Martian Manhunter? That's really weird. Was it necessary to put that in the movie? Was half the shit that was in this boring fucking movie? Did they have to make Darkseid look bad? They could have had just left the Steppenwolf scene at where he's, how he loses the mother boxes and everything. Left that alone. They didn't need to bring Darkseid coming to Earth with the mother boxes and then basically getting beat up. He gets beat and he has to be dragged away. They didn't have to do that. They could have left Darkseid at Apocalypse. It was Steppenwolf that screws up and loses the mother box, and then he's trying to redeem himself. That would have been a better way to do it. But no, this movie's boring. It's long. It's stupid. It drags its fucking heels. It doesn't know when to stop. Zack Snyder doesn't know what he's doing. And, like I said, Justice League was a 2-hour piece of shit, and this was a longer piece of shit. Ugh. Like I said, I had to turn it off the first hour because I almost fell asleep. I swear to God, I thought I was going to be in a coma, and the rest of them was a struggle to get through because it wasn't entertaining. The stuff they put in, the stuff that was reshot didn't fucking make the movie better. It made the movie boring. They dragged it on. Exposition. We didn't need all this shit. We could have just had the fucking movie be an hour and a half and it would have been better. No, it's a 4-hour piece of shit. And I know people are going to say, oh, this movie's perfect. Well, because you clearly don't know what a good movie is. Blade, the first Blade movie, is a great movie. I mean, yeah, it's a perfect comic book movie. It isn't too long, and the pacing is just perfect. Steve Naughton did a great job with it. Wesley Snipes is Blade. No one can replace that. And it's like when we got the only movie of The Shadow was really good. And that was when Alec Baldwin actually could fucking act instead of being a crazy guy. But here, these modern comic book movies are all fucking shit. All they are special effects and no substance. Characters are one note, but nothing. And that's what this movie was. It was a bunch of special effects and nothing. Oh, and bring in the worst actor to the worst Joker of all. Yay. Setting up for obviously where this movie's going. Ugh. It was a chore. I'm glad I'm done with it. I don't have to watch it again. It's a terrible movie. So yeah. If you want to see it, I mean, it's not worth it. You saw the Justice League, you got the movie. You didn't need this shit. And screw you, Zack Snyder, for fucking shitting all over your fans. Fuck you straight up the ass and fuck Warner Brothers.